Good morning. Hijri calendar is the lunar calendar. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Though we waited 8 minutes, still we'll wait 2 more minutes because people have not joined in. Good morning, good morning. Because the concerts are very long, Anjali. So it's a very English, European thing to stand and sing. Is there any doubt class like other subjects? Yes. Most probably your doubt class will be on 16th December 2023. No, not 16th, 17th, which is Sunday. Because I'm in weekend batch also, I cannot take it before 16th. So, yes. Sunday, this will be doubt class. So, we will finish on 12th, which is Tuesday, 11th, 12th, and then you get a chance till 17th to figure out your doubts. This month, you are not taking any webinar. I am 19th December. Art and Culture Current Affairs. I'll confirm the 17th thing to you, everything, the time and everything. Don't worry about it. Yes, Garba made it to the UNESCO list yesterday only. We will discuss it on Monday when we'll discuss intangible heritages, or we'll discuss today tangible. We'll see. No need, Anjali. You can consolidate, and if you can revise, that's more than enough. How to revise art and culture for first mock? As revise any other thing. See, firstly, don't hyperventilate over mocks. Because mocks are not just about evaluation, they're about evaluating your weak areas. So you just go about how you go about things. Don't change your style in the first mock. Then you see where are your weak areas. Art and culture you can cover from the PPT and Nitin Singhania. Ancient medieval I've already taught you properly. Modern day I don't know which either you have done it with me or not done it with me. That's a separate issue altogether. The fact of the matter is, do what you do and check what are you able to perform. Then reevaluate your preparation as per your mocks. So don't try to think that don't peak at the wrong time. We'll talk about Sangeet Nagat Academy today. Bharat sir would be most probably for that anthropology webinar, not for that. Ilma, Nitin Singhania. Monday I'll tell you everything. Don't worry. Don't worry about that. Let's cover the major points. Okay. We have to cover 5 to 6 small topics and one big. Rashid, I have not seen your doubt posted here. We will, 12th is the last class. As per the schedule, I think 12th is the last class. 13th onwards, you will have a different subject altogether. I will reply to emails. I will do that. I need time for that. I get 50, 60 emails. So, now, the big chunk is this one, schools of philosophy. And the next big is numismatics, which is the study of coins. These two remain our most important endeavor today. Then, smaller topics, we'll see what we can cover. Because if we do these two, generally we're covering the biggest two left in that sense. So now we'll talk about the concept of 6 schools of philosophy. Now, unfortunately, a lot of you are still not here. The number which reaches by, for example, 7 o'clock, fashionably late people are not there. So I will ignore their doubts because it's a very technical area. Now, what I want from you is 3 things, very straightforward. Straightforward 3 things. First, that 6 schools of philosophy can come in both mains and prelims both. And very simple question has come in prelims, but that does not define the fact that they can ask you a difficult question. But the biggest issue which students face whilst doing 6 schools of philosophy is that they become emotional. They become extremely emotional and they try to find meaning in this subject. So, first things first, you just have to do it for UPSC. Does it work? Will it work? How will it work? Can I make it work? Are questions which I don't care about. And I really don't care, not even 1 ounce. I will tell you the theoretical aspect. I will tell you the philosophy. But if you try to apply it, that is on your own discretion. I have not asked you to do it. So if we are going to be clear what we want from this area, you will never ever find it difficult. But if you will try to find meaning in this area, then it is going to be a problem. Second thing, I will talk about multiple things. For example, Prakriti, Purusha, Atma, Moksha, and all. And the answer to the question, what is your opinion? I think, you think, she thinks, he thinks. And the answer to those Astha channel type questions is, again, I don't care. So if you'll ask me, does moke actually work? I have no idea. I have idea, but I don't care. So whilst knowing the answers of most of the things you will ask me, I will not give you philosophical answers. Because that is not the purpose of the discussion here itself. But because I am giving this disclaimer right now, people will become emotional. They will ask me questions. So I will choose to ignore it. So don't think that I can't see your questions. I can. I'm ignoring you. Because if you're asking me a question, for example, that what happens to the soul when it dies? I am not a Baba. It is not my job. So I will give you exam relevant understanding, and there will be enough to understand and also apply in the examination. If this disclaimer is more than enough for you and acceptable, we'll start, which is don't digress here, because digression is what makes philosophy difficult. Okay. Now if you remember, in Vedic Brahmanism, which talks about the concept of how you get moksha. The concept of moksha is based on the idea that we have a soul, and the soul changes bodies after the body becomes perishable or is not good enough to use, and the soul keeps on changing bodies. And this is the never ending cycle of birth and rebirth, birth and rebirth, in which the soul is caught up. The soul had been given to us by God. He gave us the soul, but the soul gets caught up into worldly things, and throughout its existence, it keeps on doing what is called as birth rebirth. And this birth and rebirth is an unending cycle which needs to be broken if you need your soul to, or if you want your soul to become a part of God again. And the process of the soul breaking this cycle, breaking the unending cycle of birth and rebirth, is basically called moksha. Moksha or salvation or nirvana, whatever you want to call it, is the process of the soul becoming part of God and breaking the cycle of birth and rebirth. Now, in Vedic Brahmanism, the question is how to break this cycle of birth and rebirth. And the answer to this how, which is given by Vedic Brahmanism, which is the earliest form of Hinduism, is punya, spiritual merit based on ideas of sacrifices and rituals. And Vedic Brahmanism as a religion is very ritual and sacrifice centric. Very ritual and sacrifice centric. Now, if you remember, out of the frustration of this cycle came out three religions: Ajivikism, Buddhism, and Jainism. They were basically alternative paths as a new religion. And this we've already discussed in ancient India. That Vedic Brahmanism is exclusionary. It is based on the concept of Varna structures. And the alternative path as new religion were three. Now, please understand one thing, that Vedic Brahmanism, there was an that led to the formation of three new paths, which is Buddhism, Jainism, and Ajivikism. However, there was internal reform also, and 6 school of philosophy are not a different religion but within Hinduism. This is the first mistake which most of the students do, is that they think that forget this, all six except for Charvakism, accept the Vedas as important text, and they are not a separate religion. They are part of Vedic Brahmanism. This one is the one, Charvakism, which rejects the Vedas but still isn't a new religion. New religion. Charvakism is a philosophy within Hinduism itself. It is still within Hinduism. But if somebody says to you, what are the six schools of philosophy? You don't add Charvakism into it. These are the six which are called the six schools of philosophy. So first things first, please be very clear that Vedic Brahmanism frustration produced three religions. But it also produced six different philosophies within Vedic Brahmanism. They are not a sect, they are not a denomination, they are not a religion. They are a philosophy. Philosophy can be different than sect, religion, and denomination. They accept everything. They just accept the concept of Vedas, but give you a different path. They are alternative paths within Hinduism. Philosophies, ideas, yes. How Nastic can be within Hinduism? Nastic at this point in time, Nastic would mean accept, sorry, accepting the Vedas or not. So that word Nastic does not have the right connotation. It's about accepting the Vedas or not. See, please be very clear. I know you are very smart, but stop putting in your understanding. The simple point is, Buddhism, Jainism are alternative religions, alternative paths outside Hinduism. Six schools of philosophy are within Hinduism. They don't talk about new gods. They just tell you an alternative path. That is it. And they can be astic nastic on the aspect of accepting the authority of Vedas or not. Here the Vedas is the most important concept. Bhakti movement is totally different. Bhakti movement does not talk about salvation in a new way. It talks about reforming Hinduism. I'm just telling you something straightforward, and you can take it in straightforward value. They are an alternative path within Hinduism. We have Punya method. Everybody was getting frustrated. Three new religions came out, but there was also internal change in philosophy. Philosophy means the ideas towards moksha. Are we all on the same page? Because a line of you have just joined right now. So I don't understand why you joined by 20 minutes later, but separate issue altogether. Okay. I have only told you till this point that Vedic Brahmanism talks about moksha. Moksha is the breaking of cycle of birth and rebirth. And the concept is, for that you need punya. Punya needs sacrifice and rituals. And sacrifice and ritual centric Vedic Brahmanism produced one strong reaction, which is Buddhism, Jainism, and Ajivikism. But within Hinduism itself also, people started to think differently. Saints started to think differently. They're not like the Bhakti movement. They're not like a new religion. They're within Hinduism. Astik, Nastik, here this would mean, do you accept Vedas or not? Thumb rule. When they say six schools of philosophy, you only discuss the six which are here. which I'm going to discuss with you. Never add Charvakism into it, which is not a six schools philosophy. It's a seventh alternative path itself. Are we clear about this? Can I then start the different ideas? Advait, that I will tell you what it does not fall under six schools of philosophy. They are the underlying concept of six schools of philosophy. I'm coming to that. I'm coming to that. Can we all be on the same clear? They accept Varna system, they accept everything. They don't reject Hinduism. They're not rejecting nothing. They're just giving an alternative path to after death. That's it. Okay. Charvakism is different concept, sir. Yes. It has nothing to do with six schools of philosophy. Okay. Now there are in these six schools, four schools which are called Dvaita schools, and two schools which are called Advaita. Advaita. Monotheism. I'm telling you, when I'm telling you that Hinduism does not change, polytheistic, monotheistic, everything remains the same. It's only about what happens. How do you get salvation? That's it. Everything else remains the same. When I'm telling you that it is within Hinduism, so it means it is within Hinduism. Four are called Advaita schools. Now, the Dvaita ones are Sankhya, Nyaya, Vaisheshika, and Yoga. And Hinduism is pluralistic or monotheistic? Have you come from America? You tell me, is Hinduism polytheistic? Only one God exists in Hinduism. After doing ancient medieval art and culture, half of it you are asking me, there's only one God in every temple. Mimamsa, Vedanta. Or this is called Purva Mimamsa, and this is called Uttar Mimamsa. Now comes the $1,000,000 question. What does this Dvaita mean and Advaita mean? Now, all are incarnations of one God. Don't complicate here. There's Lord Shiva, there's Lord Vishnu, there's Shakti. Then there are multiple gods. That automatically means polytheistic. Okay, now remove everything you have and pay attention, because this is little bit technical. If you understand this, you will understand philosophies. So right now, start paying attention. And as I said, irrelevant questions I won't take, which is, does this work or not? Okay. Now, see, Dvaita philosophy divides everything which you see into two parts. According to Dvaita, reality as you see it right now is basically two things coming together. One is called Prakriti and the other one is called Purusha. Now, don't open Nitin Singhania for this, because he again adds somehow, I don't know, masculine, feminine, and this and that. Nothing has to do with gender. Now, according to this, the basic philosophy, Prakriti is nature, the physical world, and Purusha is the spirit world, what we call as the metaphysical or the intangible. Intangible means cannot touch it. These two exist together, and when they come together, you get what is called as jiva, or what we call as living being. Now the idea is very simple, that there is something tangible in this world, something which is basically physical, meaning this pen has a physical form, but this is only Prakriti, because it does not have life. On the other hand, Purusha is the spirit world, the energy which you see around yourself, the fact that there is something beyond this world which controls everything, that is Purusha. So there's a physical world, what you see, what you touch, this table, this vacuum, this is the physical world. While on the other hand, there is a spirit world for which we worship, where we connect, that spirit world, God. And when the tangible and the intangible meet, you get Jiva, which is living being. The fact that I have both a physical form, but also a consciousness inside me, which cannot be touched. What you are right now, and what you are right now, is nothing but two powers coming together, or two elements coming together. A physicality and a consciousness, or a soul which is inside you, which gives you that energy. Please don't use dark matter. This don't please don't. Body is Prakriti, spirit is Purusha. Yes, Prakriti and Purusha come together and create this. So very simply, Dvaita says that reality is not one but two. Everything can be divided into two parts: the what we call as physical world and the spirit world. And when the physical, which is the body, and the metaphysical, or the intangible, or the spirit world, which is the soul, come together, so you get a jiva, living body. Does this make sense? Prakriti Purusha? Yes? Okay. Now, based on this philosophy, you have four schools which talk about different things. The first school is called Sankhya, sometimes also called Sankhya. You will find both spellings. It's called Sankhya. Tangible means what you can touch, intangible means what you cannot touch. Now, I will tell you the Muni and the saint later. First, understand the concept first. Dvaita literally means dualistic, dualism. Purusha means your feeling towards God, and no. Physical, metaphysical. Purusha is no feeling. It exists around you. You have to acknowledge it. We worship two powers higher than us. That is Purusha. Prakriti is what you see around yourself. You are an example of these two worlds coming together, which is the spirit world and the physical world. So Sankhya is the first school which now talks about this. This is a Dvaita school, and Prakriti means body, Purusha means soul, Atma. Dvaita school divides reality into Prakriti and Purusha, and we have to know what is their path. What is path to salvation? We have now understood what type they are. We now need to understand path to salvation. That is why death, spirit leaves, Prakriti remains, perishes, sure. Okay, now, path to salvation. According to Sankhya, and I'll give you a table in the end, don't worry. According to Sankhya, the path to salvation is the concept of knowledge, which is based on sensory and experience, or rather we'll say based on sensory and experience of the Prakriti and Purusha. The words which are used by them is called sensory knowledge for salvation, in which you acknowledge, infer, and then come to conclusions. And this knowledge can lead you to moksha. Now you see the exact wording, Kapil Muni, creation of the Prakriti and Purusha, Jiva binding Prakriti Purusha together, dualistic philosophy, salvation through acquisition of real knowledge through pratyaksh, perception, inference, and hearing. Here, real means sensory or experience. Now, what do I mean by this concept of sensory? See, according to Sankhya, you will get salvation. When you first understand that the whole world can be divided into two parts, Prakriti and Purusha. And more than that, their understanding is that when you start to understand the world in the way it should be understood, which is use your five senses, which is that I try to understand that what this is. I use my eyes, I use my touch, I smell it, I hear it, and I can then make out if it is Prakriti or Purusha. And I can then also understand the basic ways in which to interpret Prakriti. The point is, the more knowledge I have about Prakriti, Purusha both, the more knowledge I have about the reality which is around me through my senses, experiencing the world itself. That knowledge is going to help me acknowledge, infer, and come to conclusions, and that conclusions will lead me to moksha. So the word which you are looking for in the examination is a sensory, or the word real, the concept that once I understand what is reality through my senses, I automatically get salvation. Is this making sense? Knowledge, sensory experience, to get knowledge, to get moksha. But we can't have knowledge about everything, then won't they get moksha? So, first irrelevant question. You are trying to make this work, it won't work. Because I don't care if it works or not. And I'm not here to get you moksha. I'm here to make you clear the examination. So if it makes sense, if it does not make sense, how can it work like that? I don't care. So Sankhya is a Dvaita school. Kapil Muni says that this is the way you will get moksha. The moksha is when knowledge you will gather about the reality, acknowledge both Prakriti and Purusha. The more knowledge you will get through your sensory means. Sensor means senses, your five senses. Should not come as a surprise to you. Five senses. Five senses, which is hearing, what we call as sight, smell, taste, and the concept of touch. Through all of this, I will get real knowledge, sensory knowledge, and that sensory knowledge will then be used by me to get moksha. Now, how do you get moksha? This is not the class for it, not Asta channel. If this is clear, then I move to the other four. You just need to understand what is Dvaita, and you just need to understand what is the knowledge they are talking about, what is the characteristic of it. What if someone could not get moksha? Try again. Cashback, I don't know. Okay. So it is materialistic. No, it's not materialistic. It is the concept of knowledge based. Knowledge based. Knowledge is what gets you moksha. Now, if you look at it, does knowledge need money? Unlike the rituals and sacrifices, which they are talking about in Vedic Brahmanism, core Vedic Brahmanism, this is a new alternative path. Because it is just saying that go experience the world, get knowledge, and that knowledge will be enough to get you moksha. So basically, they're trying to change the way you see reality. So a person is saying, do sacrifice, do sacrifice, do sacrifice. And ritual, Kapil Muni says, no need of sacrifice ritual. We can just go and experience the world. Sensory knowledge is going to get us moksha. Clear? Everybody says yes, we move forward. Because abhi only one type of knowledge I've told you. Three types of knowledge are there. Okay. Now comes yoga. The meaning of Sankhya word is nothing. It's a name. Sankhya. Yoga is also a Dvaita school. It's also a Dvaita school. Believes in Prakriti and Purusha. And Hiranya Garbh and Patanjali are the two saints. He is the founder. He's the one who systematized it. So, founder. And yoga, the path to salvation, is quite interesting. It's not knowledge, it is physical application of body, asanas, and pranayams, pranayam to control Prakriti and Purusha. So basically, what yoga is saying is, Purusha can be controlled by Prakriti and vice versa. For that, you need physical application and meditation. That way, yoga is picking up from Buddhism that you need physical application. Hiranyagarbha and Patanjali, dualistic philosophy, it is through meditation, physical application. Asanas and pranayam to concentrate, control over sensory pleasure, quite similar to Buddhist path, which is contemplation, concentration, same things Buddhism also talk about. So here, it is basically meditation and physical application through which you can control your Prakriti and Purusha. And Prakriti Purusha, therefore, will in turn lead to your salvation. If you are able to control your mind through your body and your body through your mind, basically mind and body control. And once you are able to do that, you will basically get moksha. Yoga makes sense. Yoga is easiest because you have seen people doing it. That when people control their mind through body and body through mind, you get moksha. Krishna talks about yoga in Gita while teaching Arjun to do his duties to not get trapped in more of his brothers. Very good. That is not yoga, that's called dharma. But okay, sure. Don't talk about Baba Ramdev. Does not deserve to be discussed here. He has made a scam out of this, so don't. Sankhya says knowledge. Yoga says mind body control. Anybody has any issue in understanding this? This should be the easiest because yoga, all people talk about the same thing only, which is the concept of controlling your body through meditation, and then from body to you can control the mind, and when you can control the mind, you can control your body, and then you can control moksha in that sense. Okay, they're all simultaneous to each other. Yes. Sensory pleasure means worldly pleasures. Okay. A pranayam, asan, multiple other things are there, but you just remember these two, pranayam and asan. Again, you're asking me because you want to make it work. I don't know it will work or not. Okay. Can I move to the other two, which is more interesting? Nyaya and Vaisheshika. Okay. Now you have Nyaya. Nyaya is quite interesting. Nyaya is again Dvaita. And the path to salvation within Nyaya is knowledge. But not like the Sankhya people. It's right knowledge. The word nyaya is used for justice because right and wrong is what justice decides. And what nyaya says is that not every knowledge is relevant for salvation. Only the right knowledge will get you salvation. In a way that ignorance and sensory knowledge may be misleading. So basically it's undercutting Sankhya. Nyaya is very relevant for a UPSC aspirant. The whole internet is filled up with knowledge, and you take that knowledge. If you will take the wrong knowledge, you will not get salvation, which is UPSC. Only the right knowledge through the right path, the right teacher will give you knowledge. Give you knowledge relevant for moksha. So basically, Sankhya said knowledge through experience. Now, the fact is, Nyaya says no. Not knowledge through experience. Knowing the difference between right and wrong knowledge is more important. So, when we talk about Nyaya, Gautam Muni, he says that acquisition of knowledge should be through perception. Yes, you perceive. Should be through inference, but you should also compare. Emphasis on logic for attaining knowledge, and human suffering is mostly because of wrong knowledge. And this word right we have already seen, which is the Ashtang Marg. In Ashtang Marg, we've seen right mindfulness, why right this, right that, right this, right that. This is again coming from the Buddhist idea of karma or the Ashtang Marg in that sense. The fact is, he is saying that we have to use our logic to get right knowledge, and for that you can use comparison. Meaning, if I have two phones with me in my hand, different companies, based on my sensory knowledge, touch, feel, I will say both are the same. But are they really the same? If I have two phones, one a Samsung and an iPhone, are they actually same? No, they aren't. That is the problem of sensory knowledge. That if I base my understanding only on feel and touch senses, I will not be able to understand the difference about reality. So the knowledge that all phones are the same is wrong knowledge. So what should I do? I should compare. I should compare their build. I should compare their OS. I should compare their the interface. And when I do that, when I compare, I can then make out, okay, they are the same thing, which is the mobile phone, but they are also different. This is the right knowledge I have taken. The wrong knowledge is basically all phones are the same. The right knowledge is phones look the same but are different in how we interact with them. This is the concept of what Gautam Muni is talking about. What Gautam Muni is talking about, which is right knowledge. So now we have two types of knowledges. In the examination, this school is also called the logical school. So logic, the word right is something which you'll look for. Make sense? Okay, perfect. Now comes Vaisheshika. Vaisheshika is one step further. Vaisheshika, again Dvaita, but Vaisheshika says that if there is Prakriti and Purusha, it says that Prakriti is not one monolith or homogeneous, but rather path to salvation is the knowledge that Prakriti is made of further parts or tattvas, fire, water, earth, sky, air, and every object has a characteristic based on these elements. This is called the elemental school, or also called the atomic school. So basically, Vaisheshika says to this, to Sankhya and to Nyaya, that why are you taking Prakriti as a given? The only thing which you need to understand, the only thing which is further going to enhance your understanding is that Prakriti and Purusha are different, but Prakriti can be further divided into what we call as today the Tattvas. That everything, something is hot because the fire element is very, very high. Something is very, 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 very wet because the water element is very high. The fact is that everything around you can be in Prakriti can be further divided into other smaller elements. In that sense, an atomic school. It's talking about characteristics of atoms and molecules. In a way, it is considered the first time anybody was talking about further elements in that sense. And therefore, Vaisheshika has a very, very sophisticated understanding, wherein it has gone beyond what people think. Kannada Muni School of Atomism and Pluralism, it says earth, water, fire, air, sky combine to produce matter with different qualities. And matter made of atoms and consciousness is made of Brahma. So basically, he says that the molecules which makes the Atma is God himself, that is Brahma, God. And when you are ignorant about this, only by understanding through Pratyaksha and Anuman, which is basically perception and inference, that there is a further subdivision, then only you can get salvation. The day you will realize that reality can be further subdivided, that day you will get moksha. This is Vaisheshika. Now, if this makes sense, I'll put all the Advaita school on one slide, because there will be terms which will be important for the examination. I'll give you 5-minute breather, then we talk about Dvaita. Advaita rather. Yes? Okay. Now, because you need to digest this part and then we can move forward. Panch Tattva are known, but yes, applied for salvation by Vaisheshika for the first time. Okay. These are called the Dvaita schools. Is it relevant for the mains? Yes. You need to know the basic philosophy so that you can write a question, write an answer. Sankhya, Yoga, Nyaya, Vaisheshika. Brahma concept is that item, the what is soul is made out of God. We in childhood got to know about them. No moksha. Moksha you get after you die, not right now. So maybe you will get a moksha. Atomic school not clear how they are breaking reality into five, telling path for salvation. Well, Ilma, you have to go and talk to Karnamuni. I really don't care how. I just know what he says. That's it. Difference between Dvaita Advaita I will tell you. That is once I've taught this part. Then Sankhya. This is this is okay. Knowledge through experience. Here, okay. Right knowledge gathered through gathered through wrong knowledge and ignorance is reason for suffering and no moksha. This is called the logical school. Vaisheshika is the most interesting. This is called the atomic school or pluralistic school. Gathered through logic and comparison. Pranayam and asanas. Prakriti salvation is when you acknowledge or rather Logic comparison, I can see it. 99% can see it. 1% if there's an issue, you ask me what is not written. Logic and comparison, you can see, right? Right knowledge gathered through logic and comparison. Salvation. Salvation. Salvation through the knowledge that Prakriti is not a monolith or one element, but 5 different elements make Prakriti. Fire, water, earth, sky, and air. Brahma or God is the element in soul. Clear, everybody? Sankhya, Yoga, Nyaya, Vaisheshika. Sankhya is Kapil Muni. I don't know where you're getting Bharat Muni out of. So Abhishek, I don't know. Are we clear about these 4? Nyaya, as I said, is all knowledge which is available is not right and wrong. Is not right. Right knowledge gets you salvation. Are we clear about Sankhya, Yoga, Nyaya, Vaisheshika? If we are, I give you 5 minutes, not the long one, 5 minutes to digest this, because then I move to Advaita. Sankhya, Dvaita, real knowledge, sensory knowledge of reality, knowledge through experience. Physical application meditation use Prakriti Purusha to control each other, pranayam, asana. Right knowledge gathered through logic and comparison, wrong knowledge and ignorance, reason for suffering. Atomic school or pluralistic school, salvation through the knowledge that Prakriti is not a monolith or one element, but 5 different elements make Prakriti. Brahma or God is the element in soul. What you have to remember is the keywords. The keywords matter here. Here it's sensory, real. Here it is physical application meditation, pranayamasan. Here it is logic and right. And here it is element and the concept of atomic and pluralism. That's it. In the mains examination, they will mostly ask you comparison. So you can make a table like this and your work is done. Once I've done all 6, you will have enough to write for 250 words. Can I give you a breather here and we move on? Okay, I'll give you a longer break once this is over. So I leave you on this. We come back at 7:17 and we take the story forward. Okay. If Mega, problem is if I take Advaita, it will go until 8, 8, 10. So that will become too much. You will start to cry by that point of time. Okay. So 5 minutes, then I give you 10 minutes later. Okay. Now we talk about Advaita. In Nitin दिखाने naya concept given in Sankhya. पता नहीं, I have not seen Nitin Singhania chapter for this, but I know that he's messed up Prakriti Purusha that much. I have no idea. He says logic is needed for sensory knowledge. Okay. Salvation through acquisition of knowledge is right. All three are talking about knowledge only. This also, and this also. But what type of knowledge is more important? Okay. Now, dualism argues that there is Prakriti and there is Purusha. But Advaita school says no. Monoism or one reality. Or one, rather not reality, but one truth. And the concept is very simple, straightforward. The concept is that Prakriti Purusha divides reality into two parts. According to Advaita, all things around you are an illusion and what we call as Maya or Moh, and the only truth and path is Brahma or God, or the concept that the spirit, Atma or God, whatever you want to say. Basically, they deny everything around us. What Advaita says is that everything which you see around you, the problem is that that is what we call as an illusion. What is keeping you away from salvation is the fact that you are getting caught up in the Maya and the illusion called reality. The day you realize that everything which you have around you is all Maya and nothing is reality in itself, that day you will basically understand that the only truth in life is God. They don't use the word, I cannot say only Purusha. I cannot say that because the word Purusha is only used in Dvaita philosophy. The word they use is Brahma. They say that only Brahma is one. Only Brahma is real. Brahma is the creator in Hindu mythology, and therefore the concept of Brahma being one. So the fact is that they believe that if you divide Prakriti separately, Prakriti and Purusha, in a way, all are created by Brahma only. But the point is, if you will get caught up in the reality, you will never get Brahma. So Advaita is a monoistic Advaita. Dvaita, Advaita. Dvaita, Advaita. So the concept is very simple, which is dualism, you get caught up into Prakriti Purusha. In Advaita, you don't think about reality. You just think about one, which is the creator, which is God. And the basic fact is this is much like, again, Buddhist ideology. What does Buddhism say? Buddhism says that the day you will not, the day you realize that all suffering is based on materialism, that day you will get salvation, which is the concept of, the symbolic concept of death of desire, nibbana. So the basic point is that that they are saying that the day you realize that everything is maya, you automatically realize the concept of only one. These terms are rejected by Advaita. Advaita does not use the word Dvaita, does not use the word Prakriti Purusha. Is nature is Maya? No, everything around you, whatever we have right now is Maya. Maya is an illusion. Every materialistic thing is Maya. Not, again, I'm telling you, don't use the word nature, Prakriti, Purusha, because then you're mixing up terms. Why these philosophers are not talking about Lord Shiva or Vishnu? Because, again, can anybody tell me why they're not talking about Vishnu and Lord Shiva? Why they're not talking about Shiva and Vishnu? It is because they are Vedic Brahmanism based. Vedic Brahmanism is based on Brahma and Indra and naturalistic gods. The concept of the popularity of Lord Shiva, or the reason, the centricism, the pivot away from Brahma and towards Lord Shiva is in Puranic Hinduism. Puranic Hinduism is Gupta period. This is Vedic, later Vedic period, later Vedic and Mahajanpada phase, 6th century BC. So the point is that they are only going to talk about Brahma in that sense. So the basic idea is whatever you see around you is an illusion. Realize God and you will get salvation. That is basically what they're saying. Please don't use the word Prakriti Purusha for Advaita. Don't say that they only believe in Purusha. That is a wrong word, because Advaita does not use the word Purusha Prakriti. Are we clear? They're opposite of Dvaita. Yeah, they're opposite of Dvaita. Yes, exactly opposite of Dvaita. Advaita divides reality into two. Advaita says that there is no reality, that is an illusion. Only thing which exists is God. Maya is both positive and negative in nature. No. Maya is always seen as negative. We are coming to that. Shankara and Ramanuja, I am coming to that. Are we first, don't start to tell me things. First, tell me, do you understand this? Which is Advaita and dualism. What is Dvaita, Advaita difference? Advaita divides the reality into two. Advaita only into one. Or rather believes only in one, which is Brahma, which is God. Everything else is an illusion. Okay. Now, based on this philosophy, there are two schools. First is called the Purv Mimamsa. Now, Purv Mimamsa, which came first? What? All are contemporaries to each other. It's not which came first. It's all are contemporaries to each other. Advaita school believe in only one truth and reality, and one truth, that is Brahma, and God is the eternal truth. Everything else is an illusion. Now, How to get salvation? Can we say these schools rose earlier than heterodox religions? No. Why? You are trying to believe, you are trying to argue that Buddhism took from the six schools of philosophy. It's the other way around. Dvaita, Prakriti, they are all contemporaries to each other and are after Buddhism, Jainism rises. Okay. The exact dates of none of these philosophies is known. It's only putting them in that period. Now, Purv Mimamsa is basically Vedic Brahmanism repackaged. You take out that product and you put it into another packet and you get Purv Mimamsa. Basically, when you used to go to a Pandit under Vedic Brahmanism and say to him that I want to get this, he used to not say anything, just do a sacrifice and go. And if you ask him too much, he will basically say, don't ask too much. You are no one to ask anything. That you murk, you fool, cannot ask questions from a Vedic Brahmanistic Pandit. But if you start to do that, people will start to get frustrated. So now, Purv Mimamsa is previously they used to not tell you why they are doing it. Now they basically are going to tell you what is the reason for the sacrifice, why they are doing it, and basically they will say the same things. Punya, the concept of ritual sacrifice, but now they will just justify their stance. So when justifications for Vedic Brahmanistic sacrifices came, it is Purv Mimamsa. The difference between Purv Mimamsa and Vedic Brahmanism is like a government and private office. You want a loan, go to SBI. They will not ask. You will ask too many questions. They will not give you the form only. They will say fill this, fill this, fill this. Come, loan sanctioned. Ask too many questions. They will not entertain. You get 1 lakh rupee. Go to a private office. They will explain everything to you. Same thing will happen. You will get money in the end. Just that they will explain everything to you. That this is why we are making this, fill you form this. This is this for this, this for this, this. That is the only difference. So the simple point is that Purv Mimamsa is Jamini, and it is about interpreting and establishing the authority of the Vedas. Emphasis on reasoning and interpretation, but justification for various Vedic rituals. Salvation through Vedic rituals. Dharma is how do you get path to salvation through ritualistic punya. And Brahmins attempt to maintain their authority by creating this new repackaged product. So basically, it's the same exact product, but in a new package. That's it. So the path to salvation is Vedic rituals and sacrifices. And very simply, founder will obviously be a man. Vedic rituals and sacrifices. Justification of these rituals are given. Punya and dharma are still the way. So basically, this is called repackaged Vedic Brahmanism. And that is why Mimamsa school is going to split. That is why Mimamsa school is going to get split, which is that Mimamsa was one school, but one faction of the Mimamsa school got so frustrated and disgusted by the fact that they're again talking about ritual sacrifice, ritual sacrifice, ritual sacrifice, that a new school will come out of it, and it is called Vedanta or Uttar Mimamsa. Uttar Mimamsa. Now, what does Uttar Mimamsa mean? See, Uttar Mimamsa is also Dvaita philosophy. Rather, it's also Advaita philosophy. But they are frustrated by Purva Mimamsa ritual centric path, and therefore Vedanta emphasizes not on all Vedas but the Upanishads, last book of Vedic corpus. Last book of Vedic corpus. That is why Vedo ka ant, Vedanta comes from Veda, last, ant. So Vedant. And the path is knowledge, spiritualism, and meditation to achieve Brahma. You see, refuse ritual centric philosophy, emphasis on the Vedas, but now the Upanishads. Vedanta, meditation, self discipline, spiritual connectivity, salvation through realization of Brahma. And you have two very important personalities. I'll discuss what this means, Shankaracharya and Ramanujacharya. And the doctrine of karma is very important. When your actions in your previous birth also decide what you will do. Atharva Veda, the book attached to the Atharva Veda, is called Upanishads. Atharva Veda is a Veda. There are 4 subsidiary books which I will discuss when I will discuss Vedas with you. There are 4 main books: Sam, Yajur, Atharva, and Rig. And there are 4 subsidiary books: Samhita, Brahmana, Aranyaka, and Upanishad. Upanishad is an attached book. So we'll move this word and we'll add self-discipline here. Self. Concept of karma and birth, or rather previous birth karma. That is why they say that you've done pap and punya in your past life. That is why you suffer in this world. That is what they say. Now, Purv Mimamsa, Uttar Mimamsa. Purv is nothing but repackaged Brahmanism only. Uttar Mimamsa is a little bit different. It is talking about self-discipline, spiritualism, meditation to achieve Brahma, and it is not talking about rituals. Karma and the concept of previous birth is something very important. But now there are 2 people who talk about 2 different things. Can I discuss that? Do you understand the difference between Uttar and Purv? Uttar and Purv? Are we all clear about this? Yes? Purv Mimamsa says that ritual. Uttar Mimamsa says no ritual, self-discipline, spiritualism, meditation. It basically brings everything together, which was being talked by Sankhya and all. Yoga basically is asking you to do yoga also and also get knowledge. It's the most sought after part in that regard. Okay. Now you have two people who talk about two different things. Advaita Vedanta. And would sub school be important? This is not a sub school. Sub schools are not important generally. This is called Vishisht Advaita. Another difference. This is called monoism. Monoism. This is called qualified monoism. Now, please pay attention. Please pay attention. You will understand it. You will for sure understand it. Now, see, basically what Shankaracharya says is that God has created souls. And according to him, all souls are the same. Basically, no quality given to soul. This is called monoism or Advaita Vedanta, wherein what basically Shankaracharya is saying that if there's an operating system, if I put it into three different devices, a mobile phone, a tablet, or a laptop, it remains the same. Same OS will go and same interference is going to be there. So interface is going to be there. Basically, what Shankaracharya is saying is you and me are exactly the same when it comes to soul level. Whatever we are, that is after birth. But as soul, if I take out your soul, if I take out my soul, will be exactly the same. There's no quality to this soul. So all souls are the same. There is no quality to the soul. And basically, be it any device, this God OS is going to be remain the same. God OS is going to remain the same. This is called non-qualified monoism or Advaita Vedanta, which is monoism. However, this is Shankaracharya. On the other hand, you have Ramanujacharya. Ramanujacharya, on the other hand, says qualified monoism, which is every soul is different and souls have quality. They just use the word Brahma in place of soul. The concept is souls have quality. If I take this God OS and I put it into three devices, in every device, it will have a different understanding. Every device has different characteristics. So basically, if I take that OS into a phone, it will be different, into a tablet, different, laptop, different. This is the concept of qualified monoism and non-qualified monoism. Advaita Vedanta, Vishishta Advaita. Is this clear? Is this clear? If it is, we can then move to Charvakism. Yes? Okay, perfect. So in just one nutshell, वैशेषिका, सांख्य, न्याय, yoga, everybody's soul, every animal, every soul is same. That is why you would have seen this concept, right? That God gave everybody a soul, everyone has a soul. This is a very standard concept in bhakti movement. In interview board, ask you question. In interview board, member asks you which one you accept. Unfortunately, if you're talking about Vedanta and Vishishtadvaita and all, you are already lost that interview. Vedanta and Purvamimamsa. Because if you're talking about philosophy with the board, I don't know what have you said to them that they're talking about Shankaracharya with you. So firstly, you will not expect this type of question from the board, but you never subscribe to anyone. You talk about everybody's logic. Not everything which you control the interview in the way that where you steer it. If you start to talk about monoism, Vedanta, Dvaita, they will ask you about the same thing. Don't try to ever go in this direction. That's a separate issue altogether. Philosophy optional people also good answer from the SME, but philosophy optional also they have much bigger thinkers. You Durkheim and all they will ask rather than this. Okay. Now, this is knowledge, 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 knowledge. This is meditation. This is rituals. This is meditation. Concept of spiritualism and self-discipline. Elemental, right, real. Pranayam and asanas. Brahma, true, Brahma is truth, karma, and past karma. Justification. Watch, I've done this. I'm sorry. Good. Sorry. Justification for rituals. This is basically the gist of 6 schools of philosophy. Are we clear? 6 schools. If we are, we talk about Charvakism, we take the break. Change the tone a little bit. Okay. Charvakism says that this all Veda, you just have to remember for the mains examination, a comparative question will come. This Saturday, I'll give you a question from this. Don't worry. The Saturday test, I'll give you a question. Remember, don't worry about it. Now, Charvakism says that why are we so obsessed with death? Because the issue is that all of these people are talking about Parlok. Nobody is talking about this lok. What do you do in this life? Salvation you will get after death. So, Charvakism is the YOLO school. You only live one school, and they believe that what is the point of destroying our own experience on earth when over something which is going to happen after you die. So Charvakism is the materialistic school, or called Lokyata. Lokyata means islok. It is linked to the Charvak text founder Brihaspati. He says that the Vedas have knowledge, sure, but we don't believe in this concept that moksha is everything. So they said that we should establish a contact with this lok, and we should not just obsess over the next lok or the next phase of life. Only source of knowledge is perception, whatever you see. No rejects soul, reincarnation, spirit, and God. They say that this obsession with God, spirit, soul, everything is not right. The fact is, consciousness is an attribute of the body, disappears after death. So basically, Charvak say that we should not obsess over the concept of death. Rather, we should live life the way we should. That's it. That's why it says that this Veda and all, okay, very good. But we don't want to prescribe to Vedas in that sense. It's a realistic, pragmatic school which talks about existence today. So 6 schools of philosophy plus one non-6 schools of philosophy, the materialistic school, Charvakism, we have done. If this is clear, we take a break, and when we come back, we change the topic itself. Are you now more clear about 6 schools of philosophy? How Indian philosophy tradition significant role in shaping monuments is a previous year question. Kishan, I know that. I will tell you that when we'll discuss mains questions. So I know the questions. I have seen them multiple times. Don't worry about that. Okay. Charvak are materialistic. Don't call them Thoteism and Toteism and Hinduism. These are very what we call as European specific ideas. Charvakism is not part of the 6 schools of philosophy. It is not. It is not a part of the 6 schools of philosophy. It is seen as a separate one. So I leave you here. We take a break. We come back by what, 8:05, and when we come back at 8:05, we change the topic. Smaller, simple, straightforward topics. See you. Welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Okay. Now what we'll do is that we'll do numismatics and then we'll do some previous year questions and then small topics. Now, this is the next big, large, in a way, a big area from which mains question have come and can come. Mains area. Numismatics is basically the study of coins. And coins are quite important or as a source. Coins as a source of history. No cinema not important for you. Because they can give you multiple interesting ideas. Multiple interesting ideas. Which is that? They're very good source for political history. Because it will give you ruler names. It is very good for dating. As it gives you dates and time periods. Thereafter, the fact is that it is also an indicator of economic health, economic prosperity of the ruler or dynasty. The conditions become very clear. And in a way, they are also indicative of political stability. Because only when you will be politically stable, only when you are politically stable, that you can issue coins. The same point of time, you also get religious history. Because gods are depicted. And metallurgically also, metallurgy, what material is used. But more than that, it also gives us external trade and foreign relations in where are these coins found? Where are they found? So basically, if you look at it, one small coin can give you so many answers. Can give you so many answers, from the dating to ruler name to external trade to political history to prosperity to metallurgy to religious history. You can get 7 different type of sources or 7 different type of understanding. And as it is, art and aesthetics, or rather we'll say art and established norms, are also depicted. So the fact of the matter is that coins are an invaluable source. Now, if you remember, I have already done coinage with you. It's not that I have not done coinage. But here my endeavor is different. Here I want to show you coins so that you understand what are coins generally and what are the peculiarities of these coins in that sense. So we know that study of coins is important for metal combustion, technique, metallurgy, design, what we call as the political, economic, whatever it may be. We already know that Rig Veda or the early Vedic and the later Vedic period, though there are different terms, there was no coinage. And it is only in the Mahajanpada period we get what are called as punch marked coins. Punch marked coins. We have multiple words. Multiple words. Nishka, Nishkagriva, Hiranyapinda, but none of them refer to coinage. Later Vedic texts also have Nishka, Suvarna, Satmana, Pada. Again, not coinage. They're only referring to gold, not coinage. And the first coinage we see in reference is when in the Panini's Ashtadhyayi, we see reference to Kahapana, Krashpana, Nishka, Satmana, Pada, Vimshika or Suvarna. These are the 6th century BCE terms for punch marked coins. Now please remember, in the examination they can ask you characteristics of coins. So please have to pay attention to the basic characteristics. Punch marked coins were mostly silver and copper. And what is even more important is what I've taught you previously also is that they are irregular and crudely made. So irregular shapes, standard weight, but made up of silver. And now I want to show you these coins because this way you will remember them better. The fact of the matter is these are called punch marked coins. Punch marked coins. As you can see, they are crude coins. There, yes, you have to learn those terms. I told you that at that point of time also. Crude means that they are not very well made. They are irregular. There is too many variations. And the symbols, if you see, which were put on this, why they are called punch marked, is because they are marked with these symbols. And the symbols again are based on the things, for example, animals, for example, what we call today as basic geometry. And from the swastika and the humped bull in the Dakshin area, Panchala area, to the Magad using these coins. The fact is, these coins were found across India, and that is why we know that this was the only coinage at this point of time. But it is still quite crude. Still quite crude. Now, what is ironic is that between punch-marked coins of the 6th century BC, if you remember, Ashoka also used punch-marked coins only. Ashoka also used punch-marked coins only. Ironically, there's a disjuncture between two things. If you go by the textual reference of Chanakya in Arthashastra, you will get reference to what is called as Rupra Rupa, Swarna Rupa, Tamra Rupa, and Sis Rupa, which is that you have Rupya Rupa, which is silver, gold, copper, and lead coins. However, we have not found any evidence of these. No evidences at all. We have not found gold at all. The Rupya Rupa was most probably referring to punch marked coins. And the fact of the matter is he uses the same coins, but the number of symbols he used to use increased exponentially. Exponentially. Wherein now the symbols become, and if I go by the coinage, if you look at the coin which you are looking at, would you associate it with the Mauryan period as what we think existed and talk about Ashoka's power? The fact is his coinage gives us a lot of problematic issues wherein we have to tend to talk about, maybe when it came to metallurgy he was not very good, because the coin quality is still bad and the coin quality is not that refined. But what is ironic is now he has started to use multiple symbols. This is the elephant. This what are these? What are these? These are Buddhist symbols. Elephant, bull, snake. This is the stupa symbol. Stupa and Chaitya symbol. Basically, he will start to push a whole new plethora of what we call as symbols. And this is Dharma Chakra. Are these coins available now? Yes, you can find them in the National Museum. The fact is, he did not add to the quality, but these are this because no excavation of Patliputra. No, for coinage you don't need excavations. Coinage, if they are in circulation, somebody would have it for sure. The problem is that now basically what I'm trying to argue is that when you look at a Mauryan coin, you can make out it is Mauryan. But as I said, because of the fact that he was obsessed by the stupa and the Chaitya, the fact still remains is that this does not give us too much confidence when it comes to economic prosperity. Though textual references, the references we get out of other Sangam sources, we believe that they were good. But the problem is, again, size and shape is not standardized. It is still a punch marked coin. Some are big, some are small, some are mixtures. The problem is nothing really. So you can see how we get an alternative vision about the Mauryan period through its coinage. Now you also know very well that it is the Indo-Greeks who introduced proper coinage into India, and I'll write this down for you. Proper coinage. Indo-Greeks, what are called double die struck. This would be a revision of what we've done. And first gold coin issued Indo-Greeks, not circulated in Indian sector. On the other hand, first to issue and circulate in highest number, it is Kushana, and first or highest volume of gold coins is Gupta's. Remember this, it will help you generally in the examination. Now, Indo-Greeks, as I know, will start to have gods, kings, and their dates. And Greek gods such as Zeus, Hercules, Apollo, Pallas, Athena, all will be represented. Initial series, you don't have any Hindu gods. Later, they will be, but mostly Indo-Greeks stayed away from Hindu gods. and Greek was written and Khoroshti was written. Again, they avoided Brahmi because they are Indo-Greeks. I have already told you that in the upper part, they don't have it. They circulate gold coin, which is north of Hindu Kush. South of Hindu Kush, they don't. But the importance of Indo-Greek coins is that for the first time we have issuing monarch name, year, and his portrait. Could be made out of different metals, bilingual, in which that they're writing Khoroshti script Pali language. Now please pay attention to one thing. In Nitin Singhania it will say that Indo-Greek king Kanishka is not a Indo-Greek king. He is a Kushana king. So please be clear. Please be clear. There's a very big major blunder he's done in the numismatics chapter, where he has said that Kanishka is a Indo-Greek king, which is not correct. Kanishka is a Kushana king. Kushanas take the Greek custom forward, and they now start to add Indian gods to it. So if you look at the coins, these are called Indo-Greek coins. Indo-Greek coins. If you can locate the mistake, you can tell me the page number. I'll tell it to everyone. The beauty of Indo-Greek coins are very well made, gods, portraits of king. And this is Menander or Milindapana, and they have inscriptions. This is Greek script, and on some of them we also have dates. So that weighs 26.3. This is most probably 4th edition, right? 4th edition. There are so many mistakes. How did Nitin Singhania become IS? Good question. 4th edition, 26.3 page number. You'll find that mistake. This is Kishan telling us this. So page number 26.3. Okay. And Shreyank is telling us for 3rd edition, it is 24.3. So obviously ISs are not experts. Expecting Nitin Singhania to be an art and culture specialist is wrong. He's not a history student. He's not done history in his life. He just compiled a book, so mistakes will happen. Forget about it. Nitin Singhania also has a book on economics. So how he's a historian and an economist. He's actually more well versed in economics. This book is there with no alternative, because there's a other book by I think Pearson, that is Devdutt Patnaik. The problem with Devdutt Patnaik is that he has messed up that book beyond exception. Beyond exception. He has made a totally different art and culture only. He's a Indologist, mythologist. He's created new timelines and all. If you've ever seen the Pearson book, stay away from it. Though nowadays he's writing for the Indian Express, that art and culture section. Very dangerous book it is. Very, very dangerous book. I actually have seen the book in person. I have no idea what he was thinking. First 9 chapters are irrelevant for UPSC. So that is why Nitin Singhania sells, because there is no alternative. I'm trying to figure out a book, but that will take time. Book writing at least takes a year. So there's no other option in that sense. Okay. Now these are Indo-Greek coins, And as you have been able to identify 26.3 and 24.3. Now, this is called the Kushana coins. Kushana series of coins. I hope you're understanding what I'm trying to do here. I've actually taught all of this previously also. I'm just trying to create a visual memory here. Nothing more, nothing less. So that you have an understanding of something to write in the examination and you are able to see them right now. Now, this is his silver coin. This is gold coin. Silver and gold coins showed a lot of what we call as character that way, because he now started to represent Indian gods. Can anybody tell me what god is this? Looking at the animal, figure it out. It can either be Lord Krishna or Shiva, but it is Shiva. It's Lord Shiva because of the Nandi shown and the way, the demeanor itself, the bull, the Nandi. So this is the portrait of the king, and this is the Kushana series coin telling us or showing us different gods. If you go a little bit more into detail, you will realize that you have Buddha, Sakya Buddha as it is called. You have Lord Shiva. You have Lord Shiva in two different representations. You have multiple representations of gods, both Buddhist and even so he had Greek, Buddhist, and Hindu gods, all together in the series of coins which we see. So Kushana series, how they have technology to punch on the coin. Double die struck was given by Indo-Greeks. Indo-Greeks got that technology, and that was taken forward by the Kushanas. Now, the Satavahanas, if you remember, are a troubled period, are a very troubled period. Though they talk about very big things, Gautami Putra Satkarni, I have beaten everybody, I have done everything. The fact of the matter is, the coins of the Satavahanas reflect that they were in trouble. They were in trouble. And I hope now you can understand why they would start to give land grants. Why they would start to give land grants? Because their economy was not very well. And again, you can see this is called the Ujjain symbol. It's called the Ujjain symbol. But the Brahmin Satavahanas, what is this? What is this? This is the stupa symbol. So again, they're trying to appease their merchants, and a Brahmin dynasties has on its different what we call as coins stupa symbols, which again shows you how these rulers were very open when it came to religion, very, very open. So the fact of the matter is that they are devoid of any beauty. They constitute not a very big value when it comes to addition of coins itself. Horse, lion, chaitya, elephant all have been represented, but the most common was Ujjain symbol. Dialect was Prakrit, but you will find the Ujjain symbol everywhere. You will see it here. Very common. And this is the elephant, which again is a Buddhist symbol only. Now, if you go for Indo-Greek coins, or Indo-Synthenons, or basically Saka coins, Sakas again were, because in the Deccan sector, they were very ubiquitous, close to 200 to 300 years. We have very well-made silver coins, but This coin is considered very, very, very important. Can anybody tell me who this is? Who is this? I've already showed you this coin previously. Who is this? Yes, very good. This is Chastana, stupa symbol. And on this coin, we have reference to the Saka era. We have reference to the Saka era. The Saka calendar is very properly mentioned on these coins. And we have portraits of Saka rulers. Chastana coin shows you that they were actually quite prosperous that way. Quite prosperous that way. So the fact of the matter remains is that the Sakas, in that sense, the most valuable thing which they left behind was the coinage, which gives us an understanding of an alternative calendar itself. Now, the epitome, the climax, the highest point of coinage in India was under the Guptas. The Guptas gave the highest volume of gold coins, and later they will go for silver. Why is that we call the Gupta coins the most important and the climax? Because of the depiction, because of the variety, from different day-to-day activities to different gods, we see very beautiful coins. This is called the Lakshmi series. This is called Lakshmi series. This is Samudragupta himself. You have Lakshmi series. You have him riding a horse. You have him playing a veena. You have him sitting down. The queens were also represented. You have king queen coins. The fact is that Gupta coins are a culmination. When we talk about culminations, we talk about, for example, Bani Thani being the culmination of paintings, Taj Mahal being the culmination of architecture. So when we talk about culmination, this is the culmination of ancient, what we call as coinage systems in India. They truly, truly represent a maturity and a moment in which they were now producing coins which were unmatched and literally were work of art in that sense. The fact of the matter is that the Guptas will issue multiple activities, multiple characters, multiple gods, Lakshmi, Durga, Ganga, Garuda, Kartike. Every region, they will have a different representation. But as you know that initial rulers will issue a lot of these coins. Thereafter, the rulers will stop issuing gold coins and silver, which is again indicative of the fact that Guptas were declining in the later period. Now, Pandya Chola dynasty, I've not been able to find the coin photos, but the fact of the matter is they were also issuing in deep south when the what we call as the Mauryan to the Gupta period, deep south, we see what we call Pandyan Cholan dynasty coins itself. Pandya coins, as we know, are square in shape and with the image of elephant in the early period and fish in the later. Gold and silver both, but we've not found that in that with Tamil script also. The Raja Chola series, again, very beautiful coins, but not as beautiful as the Guptas. Rajendra Chola and Raja both issued quite a lot. Again, seated goddess. Rajendra Chola has Sri Rajendra Gangai Konda Chola written on his coins itself. Tiger and fish emblem is used. Pallavas will use the lion symbol. So the coins here are because they were circulated too much. There's a very big dearth of Chola Chera Pandya coins in India. So very simply, when we talk about ancient coinage, if somebody asks you that the Gupta period was a culmination of a whole process of step-by-step development, you'll be able to do that and explain to that person that how from crude coins to proper coinage to gold coinage to representation to having even multiple different scenes repeated? That is the most realistic question that has already come also. That how is Gupta coins a work of art and this and that? That came. Now they will ask you basically evolution of different ideas. So for every period, just remember what is the most important characteristic. Punchmark coins, crude, irregular, silver, having multiple symbols. Mauryan, Buddhist symbols, again punchmark coins. Indo-Greeks, double die struck, proper coinage, portrait of king, and what we call as Greek gods. Thereafter, we have through the Kushana to the Shaka, we have kings, we have now Indian gods coming through, and we also have better quality. But Kushana's coin was taken to a next level altogether by the Guptas because they increase the themes, they increase the scenes, the quality also increases, much becomes very much heavier, better quality, better depiction. If this is clear, can we talk about Turkish or what was that medieval? Medieval, it's very straightforward because of one very important characteristic of Islam. We know that in Islam you cannot represent what we call as human and animal figures on anything, and that is why the coin type will also change. The coin concept will also change. The fact is, they will start to now give the name of the king title, but now according to Hijri calendar is lunar calendar, and because they cannot give the idol of the or the person's face on it, they will rather start to give the details. Where was it minted? Where is it? And now we will know where the issuing is, when it was issued, by whom, which ruler. And the Delhi Sultans issued gold, silver, copper bullion, but gold we never find. Very rarely we find gold coins of the Delhi Sultanate kings. Tanka and Jittal is what is more common. Alauddin Khilji, we already know that he will increase the volume, remove the praise of the Khalifa or of the rulers in Central Asia, and rather self-praise him. And we also know about Muhammad bin Tughlaq and his token currency. Billion means mixture of lead and copper or lead and silver. Now, the last time we ever saw gold coins in this period before the Mughals is called the Mahmud of Gori Lakshmi series coins. Before Gori went back, he issued coins in India. And ironically, he issued the Lakshmi series coin. This is the last time we see a Hindu god on a medieval coin itself. Thereafter, a god, goddess, thereafter, Iltutmish, you can see that the coin quality has fallen down. This is a Jittal. This is a copper coin. The Jittal, as you can see, the quality has gone down. Now the Arabic text is used to write the minting place where it is not. But that is why Gupta coins in themselves were a piece of art, because this is a totally new type of representation. Now, Balban and Iltutmish and Razia. If you look at Balban, Iltutmish and Razia, are you able to see the difference between Balban and Razia? How Balban's coin and Razia's coin, Razia first, Balban's coin, how they are so different, and what it represents is political stability. Razia was battling with the Chahalgani, so she was only able to issue Jittal coins, copper coins. But Balban had the prosperity, and he wanted to show that he was even able to issue gold coins. But his tanka was the most spread and most common in India at this point of time. So this is how political representation, political rule or political stability is reflected in coins itself. Then we have Alauddin Khilji, who again has kept the quality of Balban, but because his empire is much bigger, the silver content went down. Muhammad bin Tughlaq, as you know, knows how to waste money. Either he gave gold coins, and this is the token currency. This is a token currency. Basically, a coin which was said to be a bronze coin, but had the value of a silver coin. Again, here you can't learn anything because firstly, these images you will not find in any book. I've tried to find it through my own friend who's been doing research on medieval India and medieval coinage. The fact of the matter is, token currency was something which was too ahead of its time, never worked. Now, when we transition to Mughal coinage, the terms change. The terms change because now we have, for example, Sher Shah Suri introducing the term rupiah for silver, dinar for gold, and we have copper dam. So these are the three words which will come in. So gold coinage, we have mohar or dinar, mohar or dinar. Silver rupiah issued by Sher Shah, very heavy coin that was. And Akbar will issue in 1579 a specific coin called the Deen Ilahi coin or the Ilahi coin. It's a gold coin, much heavier, and it always to say God is great, may His glory be glorified. And this Ilahi coin was much more heavier than a standard gold coin. But see, this is the Akbar series. Akbar is shown to be a very powerful emperor, but the coins, are they reflecting that level of finesse which we see by, for example, Alauddin Khilji or Balban? No. And this again creates a question that Akbar maybe politically was very strong. His power, his economy was not that strong because the coinage is not reflecting a lot of stability and finesse. And you can see how Akbar paved the way for Jahangir to do something which was not allowed. He will put himself holding the lotus in his hand. This is Jahangir, and this is the Rajput symbol of Suryavanshis, which is the Surya. He will also have what are called as horoscope based coins, which is called this is the Cancer coin. Cancer, Leo, Cancer, Taurus. That is what he's representing here. Basically, he's bringing in the concept of European horoscope and European astronomy. The fact of the matter is, Jahangir did something which nobody could do previously. Put himself on a coin. And the halo still remains very good. The halo is still there. Now comes the person who knows how to waste money quite a lot, Shah Jahan. Shah Jahan, you see, all Hinduistic Rajput symbols, these are lotus symbols, and his coins in a way reflect that finesse and that beauty. But unfortunately, he will make every gold into a coin, circulate it, and will leave nothing to his son Aurangzeb to do, and that will basically decline the whole Delhi Sultanate, the Mughal Empire. Now, what I want to do is I want to do previous year questions with you. I'll give you one breather, and then I'll discuss previous year, and then if time is there, we'll do certain smaller topics if needed. Pottery we've already done. There needs to be questions here. Aurangzeb coins we don't find generally. Mains questions. 5 to 6 very interesting questions. So what we'll do here is we'll take a small 5-minute breather and then we can do previous year questions. Yes? Shahjahan coins are actually beautiful. Yes. Okay. So we come back at 8:55 and we'll do previous year questions. 5 to 6 and I'll show you 2-3 very important mains questions also. Right? Okay. Welcome back. All set. Questions. Okay. Which one of the following pairs does not form the part of the six systems of Indian philosophy? Mimamsa Vedanta, Nyaya Vaisheshika, Lokyata and Kapila, or Sankhya and Yoga? Come on. This is the second last set of questions we do. We'll do another set on Tuesday, which is our last class. What will be left now is that on Monday we will do tangible, intangible, culture institutions, language, foreign travelers, small topics, science and technology. These things we will do on Monday. Tuesday we finish by doing current affairs. Is there any book by you for modern history? Yes. The same book for ancient, medieval, modern, same book. The one which UGC Net paper 2 history. That book is relevant for ancient, medieval, modern. All three are there in that. Tomorrow we don't have class. 85% totally correct. We have class on. I'll tell you what to do. That Indian culture abroad and all those chapters don't matter. I'll tell you what to do with that on Monday. Don't worry. Perfectly fine. Mimamsa Vedanta, six schools of philosophy goes out. Nyaya Vaisheshika, six schools of philosophy. Yoga Sankhya, six schools of philosophy. Lokyata, Charvakism. Simple. Simple. So this is the answer. Not a very difficult question. Okay, now this is interesting. With reference to famous Satariya dance, consider the following statements. Satariya is a combination of music, dance, and drama. It is a century-old tradition of Vaishnavites of Assam. It is based on the classical rags and tals of devotional songs composed by Tulsidas, Kabir, and Mirabai. Aniket, see, even after you've referred to the PPT, in modern India also, PPT plus NCRT is a must. Moving to Spectrum is totally your call. This needs an understanding of two, three things together. Two, three things together. Perfect. The 19%, see, Vaishnavite tradition, Satras totally clear. So we have three options. This goes out. Satariya is dance drama, obviously all dance drama. But this is the catch here is Kabir. It says devotional songs, Kabir. If it says Tulsidas and Mirabai devotional songs, it's okay. Kabir is not a devotional saint. He's not a bhakti saint. Bhakti in the sense he's not a sagun bhakti saint. He's a nirgun bhakti saint. And therefore, the answer becomes 1 and 2 only. So the simple point is here you need to know dance plus bhakti Sufi. So the catch is reading closely. Here it is about reading closely. It's not a difficult question, but if you read closely, you will be able to do it easily. Then, with reference to India's culture and tradition, what is Kalripat? Still prevalent in some parts of South India. Ancient style of bronze and brass work still found in southern parts of Coromandel area. It is an ancient form of dance, drama, and living tradition in northern parts of Malabar. It is an ancient martial art and living tradition in some parts of South India. Satariya, it's not based on Tulsi. See, Tulsidas is not specifically devotional, but Ram Bhakti songs, sure. Vaishnavite tradition, yes. Perfect. 86%, totally correct. No dance drama, no bronze casting. This is called a vague statement. A vague statement. Okay. So this is gone. This is gone. This is gone. Okay. Consider the following pairs: Garba, Gujarat; Mohiniyattam, Odisha; Yashgana, Karnataka. Which of the following are properly matched? Perfect. 80%, totally correct. This is the easiest. Mohiniyattam, Odisha. Either it should be Odissi here or it should be Kerala here. This is incorrect. Garba, everybody knows, has also got the intangible heritage tag. We'll discuss it on Monday. And Yashgana is Karnataka, straightforward. We discussed this. This is the type of question which has come in 2023 also, which I'll show you in last class. They're trying to play with this concept quite a lot. 2022, 23, we have seen this type of question. Okay. With reference to the cultural history of India, the term Panchayatan refers to an assembly of village elders, a religious sect, a temple, a style of temple construction, and administrative functionary. I know it looks obvious, but a lot of people put an option which because they know polity too much. No, Mega, the questions are coming like this also. Don't be, paper is changing, but questions are still coming like this. It's not that they're not totally or totally irrelevant, that is. Questions are coming like this in certain areas. Very straightforward. I know. Now, this 12%, I love the reason why they say 12%. They think it is panchayat. Subsidiary temples. Firstly, Why would they say cultural history and panchayat? And ये पंचायत तो नहीं लग रहा है, पंचायतन लिखा है. This is panchayatan. So the 12% who have answered this, please stop this. These are called blunder question, blunder. Easy question. Read closely. As it is, if it would have been said political history of India. What is panchayat? Not panchayatan. Okay. Ibadat Khana at Fatehpur Sikri was the mosque for the use of royal family, Akbar's private chamber, a hall in which Akbar held discussion with scholars of various religions, a room in which nobles belonging to different religion gathered to discuss religious affairs. Here also, I know there will be a standard confusion between two options. Twenty 23 questions are not difficult. 2022, if you had said, I would have said yes, very difficult paper. 2023 was a very standard question paper when it came to history. Easiest in the past 4 or 5 years. But 2022 is the most difficult paper. Past 10 years, they had not touched history like that. 2022, they did. Out of the 15, 16 questions which came, extremely difficult. Revise, Ilyas. This 18%. See, a hall with Akbar, this is where he had discussion with other religions. It was not for nobles. It was only for Akbar. Pay attention. I know it happens. C&D, everybody gets confused. Akbar did not open it for other people to have religious discussions. Noble means minister, means aristocracy, means Amir, means Amir Umda, whatever it may be. Yeah, do understand one thing. A lot of you don't trust your knowledge. When you know that I've taught it in the context of Akbar and I've never said anyone else, then why do you create this confusion in your mind? Understand this point. You cannot do this to yourself. C is the answer because it's specific. And is there anywhere where I have taught you this in the context of nobles? So either you trust the PPT or you trust me or trust something. This is an understanding based question. Okay. Kalamkari, you will not be able to do this. Okay, do this. This is the most difficult question which you can do for today. With reference to art and architectural history of India, which one among the following was made earliest? Lingaraja temple at Bhubaneswar, rock cut temple at Bhauli, rock cut monuments at Mahabalipuram, Vara image at Udayagiri. Use your residual knowledge, use your understanding, and you will get the answer. this is interesting. As always, standard thing. Now see, there are two giveaways in this question. Either you were listening to me, so I told you that the elephant at Dhauli, which is the capital, is the oldest rock cut surviving thing in India. This is basically Mauryan pillar architecture. Either you know that and you answer B, or you use a little bit of your knowledge. Mahabali, it has to be rock cut because this is a temple, this is an image. Temples came after, structural temples came after rock cut. And Vara image would basically mean Gupta because it is referring to Puranic Hinduism. And then Mahabalipuram means Pallava. So you have Pallava, you have Gupta, and you have thereafter again post-Gupta period. So then only one option remains. So if you use your understanding and your logic, you can come down to B and C. And when you can come down to B and C, you can then also establish that this one is Pallava. And I have a point where I have Gupta already and I have also post-Gupta. So all three are post-Gupta. If you are using this logic, then in a way it's a small success for me. Because then what you are doing is you are applying your knowledge. This question is a difficult question. It's a properly difficult question. Because what you remember from Dhauli maybe 5-6 classes back is something totally different. But that is not the point. The point is if you're able to do this elimination, this is quite good that way. That is the way you move in art and culture in that sense. Mahabalipuram is today in Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu. Get my point in this question? Okay, perfect. Now, again a very interesting question. One second. Still people will answer it wrong, I know. What are common to the two historical places known as Ajanta and Mahabalipuram? Both are built of the same period. Both belong to the same religious denomination. Both have rock-cut monuments. Yes, Ilma, you trust the PPT, you trust the knowledge I'm giving you. Everything I'm telling you has a purpose, and you will automatically realize that there is a way UPSC is asking these questions. Perfect. But the 16 and 12% still. Ajanta and Mahabalipuram, same period. Ajanta is Vakataka. Mahabalipuram is Pallava. Belong to same religion. Buddhism, Hinduism. Both are rock cut, yes. Now you understand the importance of that Venn diagram, which I gave you. Ajanta sitting here. That if you know the religion, you will automatically be able to answer most of the questions. The people who are getting these things incorrect, start revising. Literally start revising because the questions are not going to be Just based on one reading, you will be able to solve questions. Revise. It is important. Then, with reference to Manipur Sankirtan, you've not done this Sankirtan. Yes, this one. Building Kalyan Mandaps was a notable feature in temple construction of the kingdom of Chalukya, Chandela, Rashtrakuta, Vijayanagara. Again, here I want 80-90% above. If you remember anything, you will remember these things. Ajanta is specifically associated with Vakataka's Harisena. It's not third. Firstly, Priyanka, that's not the way to write. It will be right 5th to 3rd century BC, not 3rd to 5th century BC. And it would not be that period. It would be 3rd to 5th century CE, not BCE. 81%, totally correct. Where the deity is symbolically married every year. Okay. Next question. Who among the following Mughal emperors shifted emphasis from illustrated manuscripts to album and individual portraits? This again is too easy for anybody to answer, but I know I'll still not get the desired result for sure. Megha, let's see. If this was done previously also, then let's see how many questions, how many people. I want then 100 out of 100 in this. If we've already done this question, Anjali, then 100 out of 100 should come, na? The answer should be 100 out of 100. Akbar, illustrated manuscript, Tutinama, Hamzanama, individual, Jahangir. Simple. Okay. Now, two questions, or rather, let's do one thing. Because this question I can't do without literature. Let's do one thing. I hope by doing the questions out of what you've seen till this point, I'm showing you the leaderboard. Yash, Kritika, Samar, Janvi, Abhinjeet, Vedshri, Kartike, Abhishek, then Trupti, Shreyank, Palak, Nirbhay, Anshu, Debsmita. Then Amy, we got one incorrect. Chetan, Anshika, Atma, Astha, Pooja, Likhani, and you would have got your own rank there displayed. Okay. Now, as I said, with this, we'll stop here. What I want to do is very simply three things. Three things. What happened? You were not able to see. Right. Now, okay. Now, what we want to do, what I now want to do is, I hope that now you are more comfortable with art and culture. For Monday, Tuesday, what is left is I will bring Nitin Singhania. I will tell you what chapters to not read, what to do with that book. What I want from you is further is that we will discuss tangible, intangible. cultural associations, classical languages, awards, current affairs, literature. That is the last pane which is there, foreign travelers. And we have more or less covered every big topic. More or less. Numismatics, 6 schools of philosophy, theater, martial art, this, that, smaller topics we've done. Whatever will be left, which is very simply the miscellaneous topics, which is regional schools and all, and folk art and all, I will discuss with you on Monday. Tuesday will end the story by discussing questions and finishing off on art and culture. So I hope that you will sleep better Saturday, Sunday, knowing that art and culture is better for you. And thank you so much. I will see you on Monday again for the last 2 times, Monday and Tuesday. And have a very productive weekend. Thank you and take care. Right? Okay. Bye bye.
Telegram channel because